Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder. On this episode of Thor Talk, we explain Thor's new baby sister, Laussa, who has recently been teased to be a main character in the new Journey into Mystery series. She may not look like much, but this baby could be the key to either uniting the Aesir and Vanir gods, or a weapon used to burn the realms to the ground with the fires of Musphelheim. Hopefully it's the former. Let's hear her story on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard, and this world is under my protection.
While Laussa was only born recently, her story begins thousands of years ago, when the gods of Vanir fought the gods of Asgard in the Aesir Vanir War. The war began when Odin wished to unite the two tribes of gods, but the Vanir king Freyr refused, and so a bloody war began between gods. None are certain how long the war went on for, or how many were killed in it, but most can agree how it ended. Odin came back to Freyr with a plan to end the war. He, Odin, the king of the Aesir, would marry Freyr's daughter, Freya, of the Vanir, uniting the two tribes of gods and ending the war. For the sake of her people, Freya agreed, and the two married at the Temple of Love in Vanir. Freya bore Odin a daughter and named her Aldrich. However, Asgard went to war once again, this time with the angels that resided in heaven, the 10th realm. And it was during this war of the angels that tragedy struck. The last battle of the war occurred in Asgard, but as Odin and Freya were distracted on the front lines, the Queen of Angels broke into the nursery and took the infant Aldrich. The Queen gave Odin an ultimatum: surrender or his daughter will die. Odin refused to bend to blackmail, so the Queen seemingly killed Aldrich right in front of her parents. Odin was so overtaken with rage that the Odin force flowed through him, and he tore the 10th realm of heaven from the world tree and cast it into the deepest depths of space. However, unbeknownst to Odin and Freya, the Queen of Angels did not kill Aldrich. Aldrich was instead raised as an angel under the new name, Angela. But the apparent death of her daughter was too much for Freya to bear, so she did not have any more children with Odin. This meant that there was no true heir born of Aesir and Vanir blood. So while the two tribes of gods coexisted with each other, they would never truly be united without an heir of both peoples. A few thousand years later, Surtur attempted once again to burn the realms to the ground. To prevent this, Thor killed Surtur, but the energies unleashed from Surtur's body would lead to catastrophic destruction. So Loki tricked Odin into coming out of a self-imposed exile to diffuse the energy, causing it not to harm anyone. Loki did this by disguising himself as Freya and offering to finally bear him a new heir. Odin was furious to having been tricked by Loki, but calmed down when the real Freya agreed to bear Odin another heir. The child was conceived in the space between realms, but this is also where Surtur's energies were still lingering, and as a result, the child essentially had three parents: Odin, Freya, and Surtur. Freya's first daughter, Angela, eventually learned of her Asgardian heritage, and was welcomed with open arms to attend the birth of her new sister. Odin proudly brought his daughter out and allowed Angela to be the first to hold her, but Angela then quickly teleported away, stealing the child. Thor led a group of Asgardians to take back his baby sister, causing Angela to turn to the Guardians of the Galaxy to help her escape to heaven. Angela explained to the Guardians that she knew that the baby secretly housed the power of Surtur, and she planned to take her to heaven and purge her of Surtur's influence. The Guardians were skeptical at first, but the baby then changed into a demonic form, declaring that everything would burn before quickly reverting back to her innocent Asgardian form. The Guardians then take her to heaven, which causes Asgard to attack the 10th realm. Thor finds Angela, and the two fight until Angela convinces him that she's trying to help. But Angela then proceeds to throw the baby into heaven's furnace. She then waits until she is sure that Surtur's influence is burned out of the little girl, and takes her to safety. The baby is returned to her parents, and Angela reveals that since she has purged Surtur from the baby, she no longer considers herself to be in the debt of Asgard. Freya reveals to Angela that the baby's name is Laussa, and Odin sets Angela free, only leaving the mark of a traitor on her hand. However, as baby Laussa is left in her crib, her eyes turn black, as Surtur's power still flows through her in secret. So that's the story of Laussa, the newest child of Odin and Thor's baby sister, or at least the story so far. It was recently announced that a War of the Realms Journey into Mystery 5-issue miniseries will begin in April, and will star Thor's baby sister, Laussa. According to the synopsis released, she could be the key to stopping the War of Realms, but whether that is through her ability to unite the Aesir and Vanir, or through the unstoppable power of Surtur which still lives inside her, remains to be seen. Hopefully, it's the former rather than the latter. Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you want to keep up with and support Thor Talk, simply subscribe. Once again, I'd like to formally state that all art and video is owned by its respective companies, and I own none of it. With that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where...